Hey everyone, before we dive into this wild story, please hit that subscribe button on my channel. Give it a like and share it with your friends. You're not going to believe what's coming. In front of the entire room, she struck my cheek with a sharp slap, then pushed me so forcefully that my chair tipped over backward. Her only words, dripping with venom, were, "Leave my house, Erica." For a split second, the dining room went still. Forks halted midair, eyes flickering between me and my sister, as if my public shaming was the evening's main event. I got to my feet, my face stinging not just from her hand, but from the sly grins around the table. My brother muttered, just loud enough for me to catch, she had it coming. My mother buried her gaze in her wine glass, avoiding me entirely, while my father grumbled, "Always stirring up trouble, Erica." To them, I wasn't family. I was the misfit, the disappointment who never matched their polished image. What they didn't know was that the grand house my sister was flaunting as her own wasn't entirely hers. The tense silence broke as her smug voice cut through. "You've always been broke, Erica. You don't belong here." My hands clenched into fists, but instead of snapping back, I let a faint smile creep across my face. I held a secret that was about to turn this night on its head. When I finally spoke, I knew the room would never recover. Her words rang in my ears. "You don't belong here." The table snickered, treating me like some intruder rather than their own kin. My sister Amanda stood at the head of the table, her designer gown gleaming under the chandelier, playing the part of the household's queen. What they were clueless about was that her entire world, her house, her lavish lifestyle, her carefully crafted image, was built on a fragile foundation. I didn't storm out. Instead, I righted my chair, my hand still shaking but my voice steady. "Funny," I said, "because I'm the only one here who actually funded this meal." The room went quiet for a moment before erupting in mocking laughter. My cousin Jake leaned in with a smirk. "What did you do, Erica?" "Scrape together some coupons." Amanda slammed her glass down, her eyes flashing. "Stop making a fool of yourself. You can't even cover your rent, and you're acting like you matter here." Her words stung, but I didn't let it show. They thought I was penniless, jobless, a nobody. For years, I let them believe it. I stayed silent as they ridiculed me, as they whispered to neighbors that I was a failure, always comparing me to Amanda's flawless life. They had no idea I'd been grinding through late nights, pouring every bit of myself into something they dismissed as a pipe dream. As Amanda laughed and threatened to call security if I didn't leave, I caught her husband Ryan smirk. He'd always despised me, and now I understood why. He had more to lose than anyone if the truth spilled out. I leaned forward, my voice low but cutting. "Amanda, before you kick me out, maybe check who's actually named on this house's deed." Her confident grin wavered. My mother's fork clattered to the plate. My father leaned in, brow furrowed. "What are you getting at?" Amanda snapped, her voice betraying a slight tremble. I leaned back, calm now, knowing the bombshell I was about to drop would shatter their world. But before I could say more, Ryan shot to his feet, cutting me off. "She's full of it. Don't listen to her. Erica's just jealous of you, Amanda." His voice was frantic, panicked, and that confirmed everything I needed. Every eye turned to me, waiting. That's when I revealed the single document that would wipe every smug grin off their faces. I slid a folded paper onto the table, the room so tense you could hear the wall clock ticking. Amanda's hand trembled as she reached for her glass, trying to mask her sudden unease. My father squinted at the paper like it was something dangerous. I didn't hand it over yet. Instead, I locked eyes with Ryan, who was fidgeting, loosening his tie as sweat beaded on his forehead. His reaction told me he already knew what was coming. "Go on, Erica," Amanda sneered, though her voice faltered. "Show us your latest failure. Another bill you can't pay?" I let the moment linger, building their anticipation, then unfolded the paper and slid it across the table. My father snatched it, his eyes scanning the text. Slowly, his face paled. "Amanda, why is Erica's name on this?" Chaos erupted. Amanda grabbed the document, her voice cracking. "No, this is fake. She made it up." But Ryan's head sank into his hands, and in that moment, the truth was undeniable. My signature was there, bold and clear, marking me as co-owner of the house Amanda paraded as her own. Years back, when Ryan begged for help to secure the house, I'd stepped in. I covered the down payment, handled the legal work, and put my name on the deed to help them qualify. They swore they'd repay me soon. Instead, they pushed me aside, treated me like garbage, and hoped I'd stay quiet forever. I was patient, I said, my voice trembling with both fury and release. I let you live your little charade, but tonight, when you slapped me and told me to leave my house, I decided I'd had enough. Amanda's eyes widened, her lips quivering. You're lying. You don't have money. You don't even have a job. I leaned closer, a small smile forming. That's what you all chose to believe. While you mocked me, I built my own company. While you called me broke, I was investing. And while you were drowning in credit card debt, I was buying what you thought was yours. The table was silent. My mother looked stunned, like she'd seen a ghost. My brother gaped, speechless. Amanda clutched the paper, her knuckles white. But just as the truth began to sink in, Ryan leapt up, slamming his hands on the table. This changes nothing. Amanda and I live here, not you. You'll never take this house. His desperation was palpable, and that's when I realized Ryan was hiding even darker secrets tied to this house. His outburst lit a spark. Everyone's shock shifted to his panicked expression. Amanda grabbed his arm, hissing, "Why are you acting like this?" But Ryan pulled away, pacing like a caged animal. "Sit down," my father barked, but Ryan just let out a bitter, nervous laugh. "You all think Erica's the liar? You think she's making this up?" He pointed at me, his hand shaking. "Fine, let's tell them everything." Amanda's chair scraped as she stood, her voice trembling. "Ryan, stop." My pulse raced. I knew there was more, but I didn't expect him to crack so quickly. He turned to the table, eyes wild. "Want to know how Amanda kept this place looking so perfect? Want to know why I needed Erica's help back then? Because we were drowning in debt. Amanda maxed out every card to maintain her fake lifestyle, and I gambled away the rest." The room exploded. My brother muttered, "What the hell?" My mother covered her mouth, shaking her head. Amanda gripped Ryan's sleeve, tears streaming. "Stop it. You're ruining everything." But Ryan wasn't done. He pointed at me, his voice dripping with resentment. "Erica's not broke. She's clever. She built her business while we begged, borrowed, and lied. Without her, we'd be in some rundown rental instead of pretending to be perfect in this house." Amanda's facade crumbled. She turned to me, sobbing. "You knew all along and let us think you were nothing. I didn't back down. That's what you wanted to believe. You needed me to be small so you could feel bigger. You wanted me weak so you could laugh louder. But the truth is," I leaned in, eyes locked on hers, "you're only here because of me." For once, Amanda was speechless, her hand shaking as she stared at the paper she couldn't deny. My father stood, his face flushed with anger and shame. "Enough, Erica. If you're so successful, why hide it? Why keep it from us?" I met his gaze. "Because you never bothered to ask. You just wanted reasons to tear me down. Tonight, you gave me the perfect moment to reveal the truth." Amanda sank into her chair, tears ruining her makeup. Ryan slumped down, muttering about ruined plans. The table sat frozen, the weight of my words sinking in. But I wasn't finished. That paper wasn't the only thing I'd brought. What I was about to reveal would demolish Amanda's world entirely. Her eyes, still wet with tears, darted to me in fear, sensing I wasn't done. Ryan mumbled, "Erica, stop. Just stop." But I didn't. I pulled a second envelope from my bag and set it deliberately beside Amanda's untouched plate. "This," I said calmly, "is why you should have never tried to shame me tonight." Amanda tore it open, her face going pale as she read the first line. She dropped the papers like they were toxic. My father grabbed them, reading silently, then froze. This can't be real," he whispered. I spoke, my voice steady but powerful. "Not only am I co-owner of this house, I'm the sole owner now. Last week, Amanda and Ryan signed over their shares to me when they couldn't pay what they owed. They were so desperate, they didn't even read the papers." The room gasped. My brother's jaw hit the floor. My mother whispered, "My God." Amanda shot up, knocking her chair over. "No, that's not true. Ryan, you didn't. But Ryan just sat there, face in his hands, muttering we had no choice. Erica owns it all now. For the first time in years, the power was mine. The people who mocked me, struck me, called me worthless, now looked at me like I held their futures. And I did. I turned to Amanda, who was trembling with rage and fear. You told me to leave your home. But the truth is, Amanda, you've been living in my home all along. And as of today, you have no claim to it. She collapsed into her chair, sobbing. My mother tried to speak, but couldn't. My father shook his head, finally seeing that the daughter they'd ridiculed was the one holding the family together. I stood, my voice unwavering. For years you laughed at me. Tonight, you tried to break me. But I built something real, and I don't need to shout or pretend. I just show the truth. I walked to the door, my heels echoing on the floor. At the threshold, I turned back. Enjoy your dinner, but don't forget, this isn't your home anymore. It's mine, and I decide who stays. The silence that followed drowned out every insult they'd ever hurled at me. For the first time, I wasn't the outcast. I was the one with the final say. And as I shut the door behind me, one thing was clear. The girl they'd mocked as a failure had just become the most powerful person in the family.